Hey Trailblazers, Tony Zupanzik here, and I'm really excited to bring a little bit of content around a Slack conversation that I had last week. The conversation was around bringing client-side JavaScript functions into a cloud page from a content builder code snippet content block. So if you've ever tried to put a script tag in a code snippet content block, Content Builder will remove that code unless it has the run at server property directly in that script tag. What I want to show you guys today is how to get around that and how to be able to store your modularized client-side JavaScript functions in code snippet content blocks and bring them into your CloudPage project. So first off, I want to start with the cloud page itself because we have a very specific way of bringing that in, and that is through the content block by ID AmpScript function. What that's going to do is that's going to call in a middleware content block that we're going to create that is responsible for actually calling in your functions and bringing them into your cloud page. So let's take a look at that. Here we have that middleware content block that has two different script functions here. We have the script that has that run at server property that's responsible for executing on the server, and it's going to bring in our actual client-side JavaScript by the content block by ID function. Next, if you go down to line 9, we have the rather hacky workaround for the script tag where we concatenate that in AmpScript so that it's not going to get removed from our content block. And then we're using that control statement to access our variable, which is going to bring in all of that content. And then when the CloudPages runs in the browser, it's going to execute that script tag, and anything that's there is going to be accessible in your cloud page. So let's jump into our actual function. So here we have our function that is stored in a content block within Content Builder. Just for the sake of simplicity, it's a very basic function. You have a console.log just to say, hey, this is working. Then we have a get element by ID, which is going to target that container div that we have in our cloud page. And then it's just going to insert a simple paragraph tag so that we can display something on the page. Now you can imagine these functions can get rather large. So that's why we take them and we separate them out into a content block. And then down below that on line 8, we're just executing that function. We're initiating it right there in the browser, just so that we can see it all take place on our page. So let's jump into our cloud page and see how this works. So here we have our cloud page within Marketing Cloud. As you can see, it's the same code that is in our file. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the link, and you can see our paragraph tag gets inserted into our div, and everything seems to be working appropriately. Let's take a look at our console, and you can see the console.log also came through. So now everything is tied in together and coming through a code snippet content block.